Alright, here goes your inside video for the Trans Am. Inside of the trunk lid, no damage whatsoever, no rust. It's pretty common for them to rust under this panel right here. You have, there's these bars right here, they come in an X under here, and that's what actually spring loads your trunk, so it holds it up, because back then they didn't have those little hydraulic actuators. So those can break. They're not too expensive to replace. Good luck finding them on a parts car. Got the rest of my interior trim. All I'm missing is the A-pillar molding, so I just gotta order that. Here's my passenger lock solenoid with the linkage. They don't even sell them new, so I'm trying to find one off of I need the driver's side with the linkage. I got all the screws. Because you can't buy them new, so you have to get those rebuilt. So I don't know if you want power locks or not. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but I want my car to be factory. This is the AC vent that comes under the steering column. It's the only thing I have left to put on the inside, on the dash anyways. My friend was nice enough for Christmas to find somebody that had a factory spare. They call it a donut spare. It's actually bent in half to save room. You can only air these up once and you can never use them again. So this is pretty much for looks only. You got the bottom of the jack, then you have a bumper jack up there. It's painted corporate GM blue, which would match the engine color. So when I go to paint the engine, I'm just going to paint all those too. This is an unused air can. I mean, it looks old obviously, but I'm going to sand it down and paint it when I do the jack and the engine. But yeah, this came in the car, and you just hook it up to the tire and it airs up your spare. So there's nothing you really have to do. This I've been offered, well, when Justin had it, he was offered over $300 just for this bottle, because they are impossible to find. So you don't have to have it, but again, I'm going for 100% factory on my car, so I want everything to be the way it was in '77. It's not going to be a show car, but maybe like local shows. But it's not. It would never pass judging. So interior. This seat actually came out of a 79 to 81. You can tell by the stitching, but it's a pretty solid seat. I did a lot of work to it. Greased up the bearings on the bottom, cleaned up the frame, took all the rust off. So it just needs upholstery now. It's got the seat back with the chrome trim. Chrome trim came on the deluxe interiors, and we'll go over the deluxe interiors in a second. Obviously you got some floorboard rot. I wasn't going to replace the driver's side, but it's pretty bad. There's a few holes right through there. Your e-brake cable comes through here. This is a nice place for water to pool up, so just watch for that. In the back, not too bad on the driver's side. You got some holes right here, but luckily that's not where you put any weight. It's just where your feet go. So I'm gonna get some floorboards cut out of a parts car, or to get a car lined up for it. Under the rear seats, it's common for them to rust out. Mine is not rusted all the way through. It's just all surface rust. So I'm going to grind it and seal it. The guy cut holes for speakers that aren't supposed to go there. You're only supposed to have the two 6x9s in the back and the 4x9 up in the front dash, but I don't know if I'm going to put that in. So that whole back panel's got to get cut out and replaced when I take the back window out. Not too hard. Here's a dash cap. I don't know if you've seen previous pictures of my car, but the dash was horrible. This is actually just a plastic cap that glues right over the top of it, and it's got the factory contours. It's got the factory texture to it, so actually looks pretty dang good. I'm gonna put the factory style radio in it and get the inside of my ashtray blasted out, sandblasted, and grease it up so it glides better. The shifter, if you have an automatic, it's supposed to push down. The guy glued the button down. I don't know why. It's only $40 to get a new one. I just haven't got to it yet. So there's your automatic shifter. You just have drive 2 in 1. It's a 3-speed turbo 350. If your car came with AC, you're going to have these two vents. You're going to have that vent over there, and you're going to have this one under here, under the driver's side. If it didn't come with AC, you're not going to have either of those, and then this is going to be just metal all the way across, and then it'll have like a Firebird logo right there. Power door lock switch, really rare. They don't even make an aftermarket repop, so good luck trying to find one. This space right here is if you had a rear window defrost. Believe it or not, they actually had that in the 70s. If you're really lucky, you had the power window switch and the rear window defrost. Those are impossible to find. It's not the factory cigarette lighter, but it was one I found at a junkyard, so it works until I get the new one. It's 30 bucks just for this piece. But again, going to factory. When I replaced the heater control thing, one of the mounts is actually broke, so, and I want the face to be all nice again. I'm going to replace all my gauge glass. Everything works with the exception of the clock right here. Almost none of them work, so I'm not really worried about it. I don't need a clock to tell me what time it is, because obviously people carry cell phones nowadays. Wipers, there's your headlights. I'm going to get the steering wheel replaced. Obviously it's not factory, but it works for now. No big deal. No cracks in the windshield. It's the only old car I've ever owned that wasn't cracked. And yeah, so we'll go over the engine bay real quick. Here's your engine bay of a Trans Am. Obviously it's got the shaker with a hole in the hood. It actually is really cool to watch while you're driving. It's almost distracting, and you want to romp on it all the time to see your shaker move side and side. Right here, your scoop is supposed to have a little nipple with the hose that comes down. I just haven't got to it yet, so I just fashioned up this to catch water. Keeps it from pooling up on top of your intake manifold. Your washer jug is supposed to go right here. The washer motor is actually on the bottom of the jug. It doesn't go on the firewall. So, here's cruise control. I'm not quite sure if it's factory yet or not, but when I got my car, it had a turn signal switch with the cruise thumb switch on the end. So, I'm not sure if it was factory cruise or not, but I just kept it in there. Let's see. Nothing really to look at. It's a Pontiac 400. And it's impossible to find parts for them. They make aftermarket intakes and aftermarket heads. Edelbrock and a couple other companies do. But as far as blocks, like how GM, like for Chevys, you can get like a Dart 350 block, which is stronger than factory. There's no company that makes aftermarket Pontiac blocks. So if you got a cracked motor, you got to find another one. It has to come from a parts car because they don't sell them. So, and they're really expensive to rebuild. Really expensive. You're probably looking at $3,000 to $5,000 for a professional shop rebuild. So, but it's the price you pay to have factory. There's only a couple stickers in the engine bay. I already got them, minus the AC unit. I'm gonna get an AC unit out of a parts car, around $300 for everything, for the brackets and everything. So, but you had the GM sticker there. Keep your car all GM on the air cleaner. And then I ordered the catalyst control. It's kind of hard to see, but it has your entire vacuum diagram on there. It has, it's not going to focus, but it's got how to adjust your timing, your idle, and everything. It's got your spark plug gap, your timing setting, choke setting, everything on there. So really nice to have. So obviously the Chilton goes over all that too. But yeah, that's about it. And then I'll go ahead and show you how easy it starts up. I gotta get this welded. 79 to 81 actually have the antenna on the fenders, so they're just gonna weld a cap over that and grind it smooth. Prior to 79, it's really hard to see, but in the windshield you see those two black lines? That's actually your radio antenna. And the 79 Camaro I used to have had the same thing, so Dad could tell you about that. He knows what that is. And I'll go ahead and show you how easy it starts up. So if it's been sitting overnight, or if it's cold outside or whatever, you just hit the gas one time. You'll hear the choke close, and then it starts as easy as that. It's really awesome. Has a really strong idle. It's nice sounding. It's completely factory exhaust, minus it's got a Flowmaster muffler. That's the only thing. I don't have headers. I have a catalytic converter. Got all the smog stuff. So, but yeah, it's actually got Camaro exhaust on it right now. I don't know why the guy put those on. It's supposed to have splitters, but dual exhaust by White Pipe. It's not true duals. They didn't come out with true duals till '78, and it was rare options. So it's got a really strong, steady idle to it. It just purrs. Obviously, once it warms up, the idle slows down. But yeah, that's about it. It's the '77 Trans Am for you. You wanted videos, so there you got them. Talk to you later.